Welcome. I watched a video by Elliot Hulse the other day, and it was titled, "When you stop wanting, that is when you get everything." And it's such a great way of looking at things, because when you're caught up in the identity of really wanting something, you are automatically separating yourself from it. What you want is over there, and I am over here. But when you don't want something, you're aligning your identity with somebody who already has it. Because if your future version that has all the desires that you want, would they be wanting the desires that you want now? They wouldn't be wanting those things because they are already satisfied. And it seems like that is how we push away a lot of our blessings in life, because we enter into this mentality of scarcity. And so we focus on the negative, and only more negative things can enter into our lives. That is why all the manifestation people say, do not focus on your current reality, only focus on your desired reality. It's like, are you focusing on the problem, or are you focusing on the solution? The moment you focus on the solution, there is no problem. You do not give the problem existence in your reality. But when our identity and our belief is so heavily tied up in whatever problem we're facing, we're sending all of our life energy toward that problem. And so guess what? The problem gets bigger. The problem gains more power over us, and we become weaker. Because the problem is stealing our energy. It's stealing our attention. And when we focus on the solution, we might actually get more energy, because there is encouragement that we're progressing, that we're moving forward. It's the difference between saying, look how far I have yet to go, and then look how far I've come. I don't think we realize the degree in which our mentality, our attitude, our belief, our identity is everything. It's the difference between a billionaire and a homeless person. We each have our own unique identity that fuels what we pay attention to. And what we give our attention to, that is what we create. Because our mind is designed to direct the flow of energy. And energy is the force of life. It is the force of creation. So our entire life, the quality of our existence, is precisely determined by the quality of things that we choose to focus on. And simply by becoming more aware of where our focus is going and valuing our energy, then we can be like, I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to watch all this garbage on social media. I don't want to listen to you talk about and complain about your problems. I don't want to watch stupid movies. But for many of us who are not aware, we're just caught up in this storm of thoughts all day. We unconsciously give our attention to all kinds of negative things. And then we wonder why our life is not the way we want it to be. Like Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And so we have to realize that we are always creating our reality, regardless if we are aware of it or not, because we are always focusing our attention on something. So we have to ask ourselves, why are we focusing on this or that? What is the meaning of this? And usually, it's some kind of unconscious trauma that causes us to act unconsciously. So we might have to dig deep into the past and pull out all the scary memories that we don't want to face, and then face them and process your experiences. I want you to really begin paying attention to the thoughts you have when you go out into your daily life. Because when we have experiences, they bring up certain patterns. And these patterns are often reflections of experiences we've had in the past. And that is the clue to discovering why we are the way we are. I think the greatest indicator is when we get triggered. Because when you are triggered by something, it reveals an attachment, some unconscious identity. And this unconscious identity is it's influencing all of our thoughts and all of our behaviors. It's influencing the ways we speak to ourselves and the way we speak to others. So if you want to take control over your life and create a reality that you actually want to live, then it's of the utmost importance that we take control of our attention. And we take control of our attention fundamentally by changing our identity. By changing our identity. Because the brain takes a lot of resources, okay? So our body can't allow us to pay attention to everything. We have to ignore 99% of reality and only focus on the 1% that is relevant to us. And what is relevant to us is relative to our identity, whatever that may be. It could be unconscious or conscious. For instance, if I really enjoy going to the gym and I hear people talking about working out on the street or something, then my ears might perk up and listen to what they're saying. But if I don't care about going to the gym at all, my mind will completely ignore it. It won't even register in my awareness. That is why they say, the moment you buy a certain kind of car, you start seeing it everywhere. It was already everywhere. Now it's just relevant to us. Before we weren't experiencing it. In the same way, once you change your identity to focus on what is positive or focus on what you want rather than focusing on what necessarily is, then you align yourself more and more with your desired reality. You begin seeing more and more opportunities and less problems. But if you're always focused on your current reality that might be full of problems, then you can only reinforce more problems. Simple as that. But you see, I think the secret lies in being free, being joyful and content wherever you are, and being grateful for what is. Because the moment you are grateful for your current reality, for any problems that you might be facing, you neutralize the negativity of all of it. You have completely reframed your reality to be entirely positive. That doesn't mean the problems in themselves just vanish and go away. But the very nature of problems no longer has the same meaning for you. You can reframe all problems as opportunities, because that is what they are in truth. If you see reality as everything that I experience is always happening precisely the way it needs to for my highest character growth, then it becomes almost irrelevant what happens. Because you are always focused on what any given situation is trying to teach you, how these situations are helping us grow. And a lot of times we just throw tantrums and get really angry and say, I want what I want it now. That is a recipe for misery, because it is not possible to be other than where you are. How can this be? It cannot be. That is a futile endeavor, they say. You're always here no matter what, which is why surrender and acceptance are some of the highest and most powerful things we can do. In the movie The Passengers, the bartender robot guy, he says,
"So lay some bartender wisdom on me. I'm lost in space here."
You're not where you want to be. You feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else.
You said it.
Well, say you could snap your fingers and be wherever you wanted to be. I bet you'd still feel this way. Not in the right place. Point is, you can't get so hung up on where you'd rather be that you forget how to make the most of where you are.
What are you telling me?
Take a break from worrying about what you can't control. Live a little.
Live a little.